You know the old saying, I have a dream. Well, I had a dream on the 12th of July of this year at Barnes Park, and I said my dream was that all Unionist parties would unite.
Yeah.
Well, we've got there some of the way. And we've been addressed by various Unionist parties, and today we have the Ulster Unionist Party here in the figure of Mark Cosgrove, who will now address the meeting. Thank you very much.
Brothers, sisters, visiting guests, fellow Unionists, it is a great pleasure to address you this Saturday afternoon. And it is in difficult times, testing times and trying times that the Unionist family traditionally comes together as partners in unison, united in a common goal. Whenever our culture, our British way of life, our core values of tolerance, mutual respect and above all fairness are threatened or demeaned, historically we have always pulled together and worked together to ensure the rights and freedoms that our forefathers created for us and in some cases sacrificed their lives for are protected and maintained. The 9th consecutive Saturday here at Woodvale, the 65th day at Woodvale, I think the message from the entire Unionist family has been spelt out loud and clear. We haven't gone away, you know, and we're not going away until our bands and our brethren are alive with dignity and respect to complete the final truth of the 12th of July. And I want to pay a heartfelt tribute to each and every person here today and those who come every Saturday. On behalf of you all, I would especially welcome any visitors we have here from any part of the kingdom or indeed the world. And to the army of volunteers who help run the camp at Woodvale, the people who make the tea and the sandwiches, the bands who march every night, the unsung heroes of the community supporters that are there every night through rain, hail or shine, fellow members of the Civil Rights Camp Committee that are living, breathing, sleeping and eating this protest. Such is their hurt and steely determination to see a fair and equitable solution to the ridiculous plight that the Parades Commission placed us all in with their disgraceful resolution over 2 months ago. Earlier this week, fellow Unionists, live from New York, the Deputy First Minister is just the latest member of his party to describe elements of unionism, surprise, surprise, in a very unflattering way. He said there is a tiny band of unrepresentative loyalists trying to drag the province back to the past. Fellow Unionists, far be it from me to second guess Martin McGuinness, but just in case he was referring to the protection, promotion and celebration of Unionist culture and fair and just protests such as this, allow me to respond directly to him from this platform. Were the 250,000 people that this time last year took part in or watched the 100th anniversary of the Covenant celebration in what was probably one of the largest cultural marches ever seen in these islands, part of that tiny, unrepresentative minority? And were the tens of thousands from all over Northern Ireland, from every cross and creed, that signed the petition to ensure we will never allow the rewriting of history at the maze, part of that tiny, unrepresentative minority? You see, fellow Unionists, Republicans are used to their spin being taken hook, line and sinker by the media, and they're genuinely shocked when their way of presenting things are challenged. If they say that the hundreds of thousands of ordinary, decent Unionists who feel genuine, real and deep hurt at the lack of mutual respect, they accuse people like me and other political colleagues of a lack of leadership. Their theory goes something like this. Their Irishness and its component parts, which I fully respect, are just who they are. And if they can only talk nicely to the rest of us, we will simply forget about our Britishness, and enough of the softer Unionists will then be happy in their united island of equals. Let me from this platform today, fellow Unionists, spell the real truth out to any who subscribe to that warped version. Firstly, it shows how little you understand the pro-union people of this province. My Britishness, my love for my country, our non-sectarian values, living in one of the most culturally diverse countries in the world, where people from all races and creeds are treated with respect. My Britishness pulses through my veins every minute of every day, of every hour. And so does my pride in our British culture. The Orange Order has also been so maligned. Civil and religious liberty for all. How could that, fellow Unionist, possibly threaten anyone? The sash, they say, is a sectarian songs. What words in it are sectarian? And I'll tell you this, I am immensely proud to wear the sash my father wore, my grandfather wore, my great-grandfather wore. Mr. McGuinness, Mr. Kelly, my Britishness, fellow Unionists, our Britishness is a non-negotiable fact of who we are. And let me tell you here today, with the biggest lie, leave you here today, with the biggest lie of all that has been allowed to fester, that we are all a load of sectarian bigots. Fellow Unionists, Jerry Kelly or Martin McGuinness leading a campaign against sectarianism is like President Obama putting the Ku Klux Klan in charge of race relations in the southern part of the United States. It is all part of their spin to try and make people think that their terrorist campaign was a noble war against the British occupation of the 6 counties. Conveniently, fellow Unionists, airbrushing out of history the horrific, vile, sectarian reality. And we were meant to trust these people with the storytelling at the base. Martin and Jerry, you and your comrades tried and failed to ethnically cleanse entire areas of our border countries. The worshippers of Darkley, the massacre at Kingsmill, the workmen at T-Ban, the remembrance service at Enniskillen, not to mention the mass murder of men, women and children at a fish and chip shop not a short distance from this platform today. Raw, naked, evil sectarianism with not a so-called legitimate target in sight. These are the people that want to lecture unionism on leadership and combating sectarianism. And this dispute that unites us here today highlights why we must not fall for their trap. The enemies of the people of Nationalist Ardoyne are not their neighbours in the Leganee Lodges, the bands, or the people of Glenbryn, Tweddell, Woodvale, or the Crumlin Roads. It is their annual 12th of July rent-a-mob that descends from every part of Northern Ireland. Those people intent on wrecking community relations, murdering the police, and by threat and use of physical force republicanism, stopping any form of British culture. In the very row of shops that Unionist and Nationalist Labour work together, shop together, and live together in complete peace the other 364 days a year. Instead of promoting a existing shared space and creating more shared space, this campaign, disgracefully aided and abetted by a compliant Trades Commission, seeks to sectarianise the genuine and real shared space that is the 300 yards of Ardoyne shops. And I am sure I speak for this entire Unionist family when I say we completely, totally and utterly reject that sectarian narrative. We demand that this type of segregation and sectarianisation of the Crumlin Road is defeated, and that our lodges and bands are allowed home with dignity and respect. We reach out our hand in genuine and real friendship to those in the nationalist community who want to create a better Northern Ireland, to build community relations, to show mutual respect and tolerance for their Unionist friends and neighbours, and we in turn offer the same. The Deputy First Minister, fellow Unionist, said this week with regards to the post-May's decision relationship that he was in problem-solving mode. I don't know if any of you heard him say it. Let me talk directly to him from this platform here at Woodvale today. Instead of focusing on the divisive May's plan, why not try to provide some positive, constructive leadership here in North Belfast, which will have a transformational effect on community relations across Northern Ireland? Why not try to work to begin the long process to rebuild community relations following your decades of terrorism and your years of adversarial street politics, the outputs of which, fellow Unionists, both communities have to live with and by which we are gathered here today? Your party and mine and others are next week going into the House talks to reach agreement over several contentious issues. What a more positive mood music would it not be to those talks if you and Jerry Kelly would publicly call for the 3 lodges and bands to be allowed to walk home next Saturday, free from a Praise Commission determination. Now that would be what I call real leadership and real problem solving, instead of pandering to the divisive nature of dissident Republicans. The Ulster Unionist Party founding principles back in 1905 where we asked no more than the right of equal citizenship within our beloved United Kingdom. I passionately believe here today that this statement and those values under which our forefathers of Carson and Craig defeated the Home Rule Bill are as important today as they were 108 years ago. Fellow Unionists, united we stand, divided we fall, our cause is just, and together we will prevail. Thank you.